I work as an executive assistant.
I'm a TV commercial and film producer.
I'm a full-time student and I'm also an entrepreneur of a social enterprise.
Customer service.
Probably the worst part of my job is doing menial tasks.
Well, it's a very stressful job.
There's a lot of anxiety about whether or not I'll come out of my graduation with like a good job in a good situation.
A lot of things, actually, but it's finance.
I came to Hong Kong to work, as people always told me it was a place that rewards those who work hard.
Sadly, that wasn't the case for me. My employer refused to pay me for the first 6 months, making it almost impossible to survive.
The constant abuse made my life so unbearable that I had to leave for my own safety.
I walked straight into a new job with a new employer who, to my horror, was no better. She starved me.
Is this about domestic workers in Hong Kong?
I've worked in Hong Kong for 10 years. Last year, I felt searing pain in my neck and jaw. For months, I was only given ice and Panadol by my employer as he didn't want to pay for a doctor.
I saved every spare dollar I had and eventually took myself to a local doctor.
I was diagnosed with cancer. I was alone, no friends, no family.
It was one of the most terrifying moments of my life.
My employer then asked me to leave. Yeah. So I'm assuming this is about the helpers in Hong Kong. Interestingly enough, and I guess that's the worst part, I'm not shocked by this behavior.
Pretty gut-wrenching that someone would have that experience in Hong Kong. I came to Hong Kong because, again, I thought it was a good place to work where hard work is rewarded, and you know, I was rewarded for my efforts. So the fact that someone wouldn't have that is just pretty gut-wrenching.
They must have felt like it was a trap and they couldn't go anywhere. And she tried, but then it wasn't any better.
I didn't expect that to get me so hard. Okay.
After all that you did, just like leave you. And for sure, I think that employer just get another one without even just thinking about the previous one.
Helpers who essentially most of the times are there to look after their kids and look after their home while they're away. How can you treat them like that? Like, how can you put them in conditions that way when they give your family so much?
I'm just a bit surprised that it still happens, that it could happen in a place like Hong Kong. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's also I'm in a bubble, like the community that I'm in and the friends that I have or even my family who have a domestic helper, that the helper is like part of the family.
I totally understand where they're coming from, as leaving your own country to come to another place to give your family or yourself a better life. And it's really hard.
I can't imagine how hard it must be for them to know there's a family back home and to live in this huge city where they're kind of at your beck and call, and then on top of that, you don't treat them well. That's the most irritating part because I've seen a lot of it and I've heard a lot of stories.